Hello, beautiful souls. I want to share an experience I had with you a few days ago with a friend when we were doing light language together about our thoughts and the frontal lobe and the connection there. It was quite a surprise what came through, and I want to share it with you all, and you'll know why after I share this story. At the end, I'm going to offer some light language to work with the frontal lobe and how that relates to our thoughts and what we discovered in this light language session that we did together. This is the friend that I meet with every week now. Once a week, we connect, and I live in one coast of North America, she lives on the other, and so we're covering that expanse of land. And we offer light language to the earth, whatever seems to be up in the moment, whatever comes forward for us. And a couple of weeks ago, when we connected, I was talking about how a second person had come to me, or I had been listening to this person talking about our thoughts and where they originate. So there's someone else that I've been following for quite some time who basically says thoughts are not part of being human. It's a program that's implanted. And then I've been listening to someone else who calls them parasites. So to this person, thoughts are parasites. And then my friend tells me that she's now reading a book by this man who refers to our thoughts as a virus. So it was like three people coming forward with this same message about our thoughts. And it's like when number three comes along, I really pay attention. And I had been paying attention for quite some time from the first person that I've been following for 5 years now, and I've can totally relate to what she says about thoughts not being part of our natural way of being, that it's part of the corruption actually that's happened with us. And I've had experiences where when we're living in the moment, we just spontaneously act. And I've noticed it more and more in my life. I get up in the morning and I plug in a salt lamp upstairs here in my living room. And it's dark. I can't see where the plug is, but I pick up the plug, and almost every day I have no struggle. It just knows where to go. That's not me. That's the higher aspect of who we are, the all that is moving through me that just knows everything. This is a bit what it's like to live without relying on our thoughts for everything we need to know. Yes, we use our thoughts and we need our thoughts, but what I believe the thoughts we have that are more parasitic is when we go into past or future, which takes us out of the moment, and then we can't be inspired by that all that is moving through us because we're disconnected from it. And those are thoughts that create anxiety, fear, worry, repeating over and over in our head what I shoulda, coulda done, and projecting into the future, either with fear or with a hope that's limited, because the thoughts we have are limited by what we've experienced in the past. So if we take our thoughts into the future, we're not usually expanding into what life could give us, the higher aspect of who we are that wants to give us everything we ever desire. Our thoughts of the future are usually so limited because we have no idea what the universe can offer. And I'll give an example of that, something that I'm really excited about right now. I was approached by a woman from Germany. Hello, Danny, beautiful soul. And she told me, obviously she had been reading my book, Conversations with a Tree, and she went into a deep meditation and saw a beautiful jungle. And then into her mind's eye came this big rope with a big hook hanging off it. And she immediately knew that the trees were asking for help. And she approached me, and we're going to have a project coming up together that I will share with you later. But this was something that I never could have dreamed of happening. Had I tried to plan something in the future, of the great gift that I feel this project that we have is going to be. I never would have come up with that on my own. The universe provided it. This is the way we live when we can move so fully from our thoughts and the great limitations that they bring into spontaneously meeting life. And to me, a lot of that means being in the moment. So my friend and I, after she shared, this other author calling thought viruses, and we just chat for a little bit, and then we go into the light language. And all of this takes half an hour, and the first 20 minutes is usually just she and I catching up with each other's lives and what's going on. And then we say, okay, what should we do today? And in 10 minutes, profound changes happen with the light language. So I bring through light language when we're together, and she sees what's happening on the other end, feels it moving through her body, her hands move, moving energy. She is moving energy. Usually when I'm bringing through the light language, I'm moving energy as well and aware of what's happening. I'm always moving energy, but usually aware of what's happening. But this piece around the frontal lobe that came, we did it twice. And the second time I was so tired. I couldn't even try to interpret what the light language was doing. I just went through a week of extreme fatigue. It's undescribable. I slept for 2 days and 2 nights straight. I would sleep all night, get up, go to the couch, sleep all day on the couch. The first day I didn't eat anything till 2 in the afternoon. I was so hungry, but I had no energy to cook. And then I finally realized I had this date bar that I could eat, and got up and grabbed that. Like, just the level of fatigue was so extreme. And to me, it feels like I'm transmuting dark energies. It feels like I'm transmuting for all of humanity the depth of fatigue that I've had. So the second day when we met to do this light language, like, I had no energy. So I thought, okay, I can at least sit up and do light language. That's all I got. So I wasn't getting any concept of what was happening. So the first time we did this around thoughts, I was bringing through the light language, and I could hear her. She breathes and yawns as the energy is moving through, and I just knew that it was getting really intense for her, and I knew it was clearing a lot of energy out, because of course these thought patterns, this program, is deeply embedded into humanity. This has been going on forever for us, and I just got the feeling, okay, we have to lighten this up. So I called in the golden white light to come in and fill all the void that we were creating by moving things out. And then I stopped and did a check-in with her, and she explained to me that, like, everything in her body, she felt completely cold and empty inside, and it was intense indeed, she shared, as she was doing this. So we're clearing this, and the second day we came back to it to do more. And in the second day we were doing more clearing, and then I put the light in again, and I just had the sense again that we stopped and did our little check-in, and I said, would you like a little more light language, bringing in the light? And she said, yes, that would be great. And so I did that. And as we're finishing up, I got this vision in my mind's eye of the frontal lobe. And so I just started asking her, like, do you know what the frontal lobe is about? I know it's about sort of maturity and logical thinking, and that males, the frontal lobe is not fully matured in males until 25. It's 21 in females. And so we're quite well into our 20s before this frontal lobe has fully matured. And that's when we get a bit more reasonable in what we're doing in life. Before that point, we think we're invincible to anything, and we'll do all this crazy stuff that most of us seem to survive. And so we're just talking about the frontal lobe. And then I just got this download that the frontal lobe is where that program is held. That program of thought that is not truly human, that is described as parasitic, virus, not truly human, is held in the frontal lobe of our brain. And then I realized this recognition, there may be other people in the world who have recognized this, but this recognition, once it's said and spoken and come into our awareness, it's done. Essentially, that's the first step of the whole program falling apart. And that's why I want to share this with you today, because whew, this knowing really came through for me that the more this is put out there, the more that program is going to fall apart. And we'll come back into that deep appreciation of living in the moment and spontaneously moving and responding to inner promptings that we're not even aware of. It's like the universe brings us what we need before we even need it. It's so beautiful living this way. And there's a deeper appreciation for beauty and grace, and there's more love in the world because we're not constantly going back to that old program and listening to thoughts that are keeping us small, keeping us restricted, keeping us afraid, teaching us that we have no value, we're not worthy, or we think we're so worthy that we're above everybody else. Whatever the programs are that we run, when we live without those and just spontaneously arise in the moment, we have come back to our true nature as these beautiful divine beings of love who are one with the all that is. The all that is, that spark of divinity within us, is so bright, shining so brightly in our hearts, that we just respond the way wild animals do in the world. No having to precognate what's going to happen, what we're going to do. We're just there in the moment, and it's beautiful. So I just wanted to share this with you, as I said, that the more we do this light language, which Jeannie and I did, the light language was actually, for me, the first time when I had a connection to what we were doing. I just saw those old neural pathways just drying and frizzling to nothingness, so that nothing could pass those neural pathways again. And Jeannie was seeing new neural pathways opening that will be connecting us to this full radiance of responding in the world from our inner knowing. And when we think about it, the old brain is way back here. The frontal lobe, I recognize, is our new brain that was probably created to hold this program. Interesting. So today I would love to offer some light language for all of you to be able to experience, to take in this light language and in your own way be doing your piece to stagnate and fizzle out this program of controlling humanity through thought, and step into the new neural pathways that serve the highest light for humanity. Before I do that, I just want to share with you about my 7-day empowerment light language program. It's 7 days of a description. It starts with light language and then it tells you what's happening. And it's all based on I am statements. So, and it's interesting how I had no idea when I was bringing this through the relation it has to joy. And I'll share that with you after I briefly go through the 7 days, so you can know what you would be getting from this program, because it really is empowering us as individuals to step into our greatest potential. And that's what this time coming is all about. We are in the time of such beautiful potential for being all that we are. This year coming forward is so full of light if that's where we place our focus. So day 1 is called I Am That I Am. I'm just reading this from my computer. And in this light language transmission, a spark of light was activated in the third eye. It takes you into a state of purity where there is no human concept. So that's related to what just came through for me about when we're not living from that virus that lives up here. We are in this state where there is no human concept. We're just moving through life. And what came through was that joy will come from purity. So it's interesting. This is called I Am That I Am. I didn't expect it to be connected with joy, but it's interesting. Joy featured itself through this whole 7-day series. So obviously it's really important. And purity, joy will come through the state of purity. Purity is when we've moved all that conditioning and that program out of who we are. We come in as pure beings of love, but then all this conditioning is placed over us like a big dome that we're walking under. And now's the time to push that dome aside, let our pure light come in, shine it in the world as bright as we possibly can, shine it into our own hearts, and this program will help us get to that. Day 2 is I am creativity, and creativity is direct intelligence from source. And I recently read, and this feels very true for me, that we are soon going to be moving away from the intellect and back into this creativity, because we're going to be responding more fully, especially when all our thoughts, programs are gone. We're responding then from the all that is, which is the intelligence of creativity. Creativity, to me, I've said this for years, to me, true intelligence is creativity, because you're bringing through things that have never been here before. It's like invention, same thing. This activation clears interference from technology that distracts us from our more creative aspect. It's about creating a new world. Use it anytime you're feeling stuck in your manifestations. And near the end of this one, creativity in humanity became unstoppable. So that time is coming when we are just flowing creativity. It was just unstoppable. It was beautiful, like so much new creative energy coming into the earth. It was really beautiful. And day 3, I decided to call I am joy. So joy enters in from me, and what I felt that this 7 days would be about on day 3, but it really showed up on day 1. I am joy is about preparing the physical vessel to receive joy again. The light language in I am joy is bringing us into a state of preparation to receive joy. Use this often, as it is clearing the path for the following activations in the series, where joy is fully activated in the last day. When I started doing I am joy, I thought I would be activating it in day 3, but it turned out that we are so far from the state of joy that day 3 was just all about clearing what's in the way of us stepping into joy, and that we needed to do that and really integrate that before it was time to bring in the activation, the full activation of I am joy. Day 4 is I am wisdom. And the wisdom in this one is described as the role of being stewards of our own evolution and the evolution of the earth. This was a powerful transmission. This activation will awaken a new awareness within you and a new way of being in the world. With wisdom comes responsibility. Are you ready? Day 5 is I am grace. And it was releasing deep wounding of the past and softening our ability to receive love. I am grace transmits the frequency of purity, again, of the light of the divine. So this day 5, I am grace, releasing the deep wounding of the past. By using this 7-day light language activation, we are also preparing ourselves to clear out that program of the frontal lobe. And I'm actually going to do another 7-day light language. I think it'll be 7 days, maybe 5, activation around this frontal lobe rewrite, because it's time. It's time for us to rewrite this, claim back our true humanity that is so pure and so wise and so knowledgeable. Day 6, I am love. It became clear in this activation that there was much clearing to do to prepare us to be able to truly receive pure love. Part 1 is basically uncovering the buried heart to make it safe to be love in this world again. And then I actually did a part 2. Part 1 was so intense. The clearing that came through was so intense. I just cut it off actually very abruptly and wanted to make it in 2 parts so that you could have time to integrate the intensity of that clearing of the heart frequency in day 1 so that the love can come, or in part 1. And then in part 2, we started anchoring that in more fully. And the last day, day 7, is called I am the light. From the pineal was created a huge circular beam of light. I saw people radiating with such glory that the light drew many people to them. Those holding this light were gifted with the light of their own divinity. And what I don't say here, but what actually happened, is that on day 7, they were anchoring in the joy. After all these other I ams in this 7-day empowerment, we were ready to receive the anchoring in of joy. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think it would be a beautiful complement to this activation that I'm going to do now about removing those neural pathways of limitation that are within us that come through as patterns of thought. And I'll put the link below for my website where you can purchase this 7-day empowerment program. It's a download. It's yours to use. After you purchase it, you can use it as often as you want. You receive the full download. Okay, so let's move into this light language activation of the rewrite of the frontal lobe. So I invite you to join me in just anchoring in, coming centered into your being, bringing all of your energy back into your own being, into your heart, in stillness. Mushikatiki ashatik ashkanahatik asaki. Hushiakati ashatik ashkanahatik asaka. Hushna, 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 hushya. Hushya, 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 hisana, hisana, hushka, siya, kashna, siya. Hushkia, hushkia, hushkia. Hushna, hushna, hishna. Husyat, kiashiat, kashia. Huskia, huskia, hush. Hushna, hisakaat, kiasha, hash. Usakwate kakoshiatki. Ushakwani takashaniaka. Umaksakea taya koshiakwa. Tiashane, tiashane. Usikaya toshia sina. Hoshiakiatkia sataka. Makshe takoshiakwa itakaya nosia. Maxikatik ashiatik hashkanatik eski. Ishako atiki ashatiki ashatik ashkanatik eski. When I first was bringing this through, they started in the mind and just undoing everything in there. But then it dropped very strongly into the throat and a huge clearing for the throat. And I feel it's the way we will express ourselves and the way we will use words, that we will be more conscious in the words that we use to be aware that whatever we speak, we are manifesting. And so, of course, knowing that, we're going to want to speak in a way that's manifesting what we would want for ourselves and what we would want for others in the world. So a deep awareness of that. And also our will is expressed through our voice. And so it's clearing out the throat so that any debris there from this part of our mind will be purified, so that our will be expressed more divinely. And I just want to see if there's anything more around that throat piece. I can tell that my friend and I already did quite a bit of work here because I can feel that with the light language. It's moving through quite easily. So I just want to see if there's more here with the throat, and then we'll drop into the heart and finish there. Hushiat kiashat ashkanat asiki. Ishako et kashanat kiasha. Ishako et koshiat kiashat ashkanat e. Isakta kia masiat kiashat ashkanat asiki. Ushako et kiashit ashkanat asika. Hushanat kiasatka ashkanat asiki. Hushakana siada 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 tina tia tia tina tia tia. Hasina, hasina. Washia tia sakas na siata kashna sad kia Okay, I want to stop with the throat and explain what I saw. So they were working with the throat and opening things up, and they put a bow inside our throats. So they tied a bow around our throats, and it got tighter and tighter. But you know those kind of bows that if you pull each end, it completely undoes the knot, and it's just a straight ribbon, so you can undo the knot. It was that kind of a bow. And what they were saying was, whenever we feel like our throat is restricted, or we catch ourselves having expressed something that's not who we truly want to be and who we choose to be, acknowledging that it came from some other program, we can just, in our mind's eye, in our imagination, pull the ends of that ribbon and straighten it out again, so that the bow that was holding that knot really tight, it just snaps open and it clears that program. So that is like a bow around a gift. That is a gift to us, to easily be able to just pop that open, almost like a Christmas cracker. It's just like boop, and everything comes flying out, and we're empty again. Okay, so now I'll just go into the heart and finish up with that. Whew. Whew. Hashinatiki ashatika ashkan hetiki. Hishakwa atiki ashatiki shkanatik eski. Hushikaya no tiashiatiki ashatika ashkanatik eski. Maxikaya toshiakwa iskanaya tatiki e. Ushakotea koti ashiaka tiashiki. Maxiatikation no. Asaya koti akania tatiki kana. Usaya koti ashiatiki ashatika ashkanahe. Usaktiki no kana. Viakshakeato. Much love to you all. Much love to the beautiful light that expresses through me. In this heart piece, it immediately felt very different, and I just felt the deepest gratitude drop in for myself, but mostly for all of you out there who are taking the time to really integrate this and to listen to this and to let it drop into your heart and to be the expression of love that you are in this world, because you wouldn't find it if you weren't ready for this beautiful light, this beautiful transformation that we are now stepping into. We are the forerunners of this transformation. There are many of us, not enough probably. I won't say that, that's a judgment. But just to know that we are the ones who are consciously anchoring in this new creation, this new way of being in this world. And it's coming through the divine aspects of ourselves that we carry within us, this beautiful light that radiates through us. And so they're offering their deep gratitude. I just felt it like a huge wash of love coming down into my heart for each and every one of you who are still here listening to this, for all that you are bringing into this world, your beautiful light. It can be so hard sometimes, I know. Hang in there, because there's just so much love here now. It's like we really are in a new world. Personally, I'm really disconnecting more and more from whatever is happening out there. It's just not my reality. And I'm recognizing that in order to bring in the new world, that's where we need to put our focus, is on this new world that we want to be living in and what that's going to be like. And so this beautiful work, and whatever way you bring your light into the world, simply by being you right here, right now, that's how we change things. So, beloved beings, thank you so much for being here. Please do check out my 7 Days of Light language. It's a great way to support me and my work, and you also receive in return a beautiful win-win. Sending so much love to you all. It is my greatest joy to be here with you, and I'm so excited for what we're going to be creating going forward. So much love.